Welcome back to the Full Force Fathers podcast, episode 101. Dave, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. No technical issues here. Things are good in Nashville. It's a cloudy day, par for the course here in Middle Tennessee. It's about 65, but I do have a tri-tip on the grill, so things are looking up.
That's great to hear. It's a 75-degree day here in the desert. As you can see, I'm broadcasting from the camper because it's Sunday. We usually record during the week, but the kids are running around like crazy. I said, Dave, I'm going to the camper because we got to get this thing in on a Sunday this week. So if you hear noise from Dave's kids or my kids, we apologize right up front.
In advance, yeah. Can't guarantee what's going to happen here. I've heard basketballs bouncing and screaming and yelling from the backyard. So, hey, they're having a good time, trying our best here. Let's keep it rolling. Yeah. It's episode 101.
Yeah, so we got a Bible verse. Let's kick it off with a Bible verse, Dave, and it comes from Proverbs 1:33. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. Man, pick up the book. It's March. Let's rock and roll. Let's get our finances in order. It's spring cleaning all around, Dave. That's what we're talking about today. We're going to spring clean up in all of our aspects of Full Force Fathers lifestyle. Finances, fitness, and in faith. We're starting with chapter 1 of Proverbs. All right. Open up the good book. Let's rock and roll. Get in tune with your faith. Easter's only 3 weeks away, Dave. I know you love it because it's the Lord's Day, but also you like to cook, don't you?
I do like to cook, and I'm going to be getting my ham on this Easter. I can guarantee you that. 75 hard will be over at that point, so there's going to be ham. There's going to be scalloped potatoes. There's going to be all sorts of good stuff. Garlic bread for the breakfast. Oh, man, I can't wait. You're right. Easter's great.
Easter's great, and there's no better time. Listen, Good Friday, he was crucified. 3 days later, he rose again from the dead like he said he was going to, and listen, man, there's just no better time to believe in him, to know in this wild world that we live in that God has got our back at all times. If we live in him and through him, we have no fear. And that is such a great proverb to open up today's show with because it really just speaks the truth. It's exactly what it is. If we live and listen to him, we will forever be safe and without fear of harm.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, man. It's a perfect one for today. I'm excited. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so anyway, so it's officially March, like I said briefly. Officially March. So that means spring cleaning, okay? Our days are longer. Our nights are shorter. It's warmer outside. Dave still gets a ton of rain, which sucks for him. But I want to talk about spring cleaning, and I want to start with finances, Dave, because everybody's got that credit card hangover from Christmas, okay? And I want to talk to you specifically about an episode or a conversation that Andy and I had last week. And I was like, it's a great topic for the show. And Andy and I never used to talk about money because it always led to fighting. So I have a question for you. How crucial is it for you and your spouse, if you're married and you're a full force father, how crucial is it to be on the same page with your finances together as a husband and a wife?
It's critical. I don't think there's anything that's more important than it. You can't do it separately. It's impossible. You can't have one person that's focused on a budget, one person that's going out and spending like crazy, because those things can't coincide together. One can't happen without the other. The person that's doing the budget is going to always be resentful and irritated with the person that's just going and spending, and the person that's going and spending is just going to be irritated that somebody else is trying to, stop them from doing the things that they want to do. You've got to communicate about it. You've got to share bank accounts. You've got to do the budget together every single month. You've got to talk about big purchases. You've got to agree on a financial plan. It is imperative.
Yeah, it's so interesting because Andine and I used to fight all the time about money, and we went for like our normal walk in the morning. And I was just like, we were talking about, hey, where are we going to allocate an extra $500 this month? Because we went through our budget. I'm like, hey, we got an extra $500 to put somewhere. And those conversations used to be so awkward. It's kind of like that fear of the mailbox that you have when you're swimming in credit card debt and you're behind on payments. It's those types of conversations that Andy and I never used to have together because it was fear of what it led to. So like you said, it's so important to be on the same page and to budget. Like I learned this from you. We never used to have a budget. We didn't give a shit. What credit card, no credit card, mortgage, no mortgage. We just like kind of went through the month and never really knew it. And like you always say, if you don't know where your money's going, dude, you're so fucking screwed because you have to know in this day and age with inflation where it is, you need to know where every single penny is.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is for the majority of people out there, there's not enough margin to be able to not know where it's all going. You really do have to be focused on it. Years past, 5 years ago, it wasn't as critical maybe to have every dollar taken care of. It's still important and you should do it all the time. But like now, those dollars are squeezed so much more that you need every single one at the end of the month. Casey and I talk about it all the time. Like, we make a good amount of money. We don't have any debt other than the house, but man, month to month, it is hard, and you've got to be focused on it because so easily one thing out of place can really mess everything up.
It's just crazy to think about. I mean, like I said, we used to have that fear of having those conversations, and it's like, dude, let's get it together. Like, pay off those credit cards now. If you not noticed that nothing's getting better, gas somehow went up again 70 cents a gallon. There's Texas wildfires going right now. If you guys are meat eaters, dude, your beef's going up substantially here in the near future. They're going to use that as an excuse to make oil prices go up. So your gas is going to go up due to Texas wildfire. These are some of the biggest wildfires in the history of the world that they're not even talking about on the news because they don't want to talk about them. But just be prepared for the cost of meat to go up and the cost of gas to go up because Texas is burning, literally burning. The Four Sixes Ranch, which is one of the biggest, most prestigious ranches in the history of the world, they're posting videos of it burning, literally burning, and no one on the news wants to talk about it. It's unbelievable to me.
Is that the ranch from Yellowstone?
The guys from Yellowstone bought it.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. And so you've got that going on in Texas, and then in New York, you've got them suing the largest beef provider in the entire country because of global warming.
It's unbelievable, dude.
Anyway, dude, prices are going to go up. They're going to skyrocket. One of the best things, I'll tell you what, one of the best things we did this year, this is month 2 for us. We signed up for a beef CSA. So every month we get about 25 pounds of beef, different cuts. You get different roasts. You get ground beef, you get burgers, you get steaks, and it changes every month in a rotation of 3. It's from a local farm. Prices are locked in for the year, and we can budget that way. And that's so far, again, only 2 months in, but it is solid. So see if you can find things like that. Like, it makes a difference. You're getting into the time of year all around the country where there's vegetable CSAs. There are all sorts of different CSAs where you can lock in that pricing, know what you're going to get, and that will really help with the budget too.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Like, we released this podcast on Tuesday. On Wednesday, tomorrow, we're getting our meat birds. We ordered 20 meat birds to put in the freezer. So that's just one way we're cutting costs. It costs $2.50 for a bird. We have the space and the land. So we built a new run and a new pen for them. We're raising 20 birds from chicks up to 7 weeks. You grow them, you feed them twice a day. And then at the end of the 7 weeks, we have a guy that will process for us. It's going to come out to be about $6 per bird. And think about that. I could put 10 whole ones in the freezer, 5 whole ones in the freezer. I can make 25 pounds of ground chicken. Dude, it is a no-brainer. If you have the wherewithal to do these things, like Dave said, sign up for a meat CSA. Definitely sign up for a produce CSA if you can, because you're going to save a big amount of money in terms of your grocery bill, which is already going through the roof. And that's just it. We got 6 more chicks because we want more eggs. So we literally have 16 laying hens now, and we're going to have 20 meat birds by the end of this week.
Man, you farmer Brett. I like it.
Farmer Brett is right. Hey, we're going to shift here. I want to talk about fitness and how we can spring clean on our fitness, dude. It's t-shirt and short weather. All right.
Yeah.
Now it's time to clean up, right? Spring cleaning. What are we cleaning up? We got to clean up our diets. Everyone's been eating like shit. Winter coats, winter hats, jeans, hoodies all winter long. No one's paying attention to the flab that's growing underneath it all. Let's talk about spring cleaning your fucking diet, because some people still go to the gym all winter long, but they just still eat like shit. Now it's time to clean up the diet. You need to pay attention to what you're eating. And one funniest thing is you'll save a lot of money if you cut garbage out of your diet. You know, it kind of goes hand in hand, your fitness and your finances, dude. Because if you start cutting out all those processed sugars and bullshit that you're spending all this money on every week in your grocery bill, dude, you're going to save a lot of money. I know you're going to eat a little more plain. I'm pretty much a creature of habit. I eat very plain, but you're going to eat a lot more plain, but you're going to eat a lot healthier. And I don't care. The true statement is you cannot outrun a bad diet. It's an absolute fact. You can't do it. So spring clean up your diet. And you and 75 Hard are the epitome of what it looks like to be on a diet mode. Just break it down, because I know 75 Hard is where you really change your diet. Break down your diet a little bit for 75 Hard for those followers out there that want to know about it.
Yeah, dude, 75 Hard has locked me in, and it's been so critical. As of when this comes out, it'll be day 59 for 75 Hard. So I've got almost 2 weeks left on the program. And the diet has been so locked in this time. It's been amazing. So every morning, either do a protein shake or I do some form of breakfast with some eggs and some fruit. That's pretty much breakfast every day. No snack in the middle of the morning with some chicken on it, or a turkey sandwich, no cheese, usually a little avocado on there as well, some spinach. That's usually my lunch, no sides or anything. It'll be a mid-afternoon snack. It's either a protein bar or an apple and some nuts. That's typically what it is. And then dinner, man, we do like just a full plate. You got a protein in a quarter of it. You've got a healthy carb in a quarter of it. And I got vegetable on half of it. And that's it. No snacks. That's one thing for me that was a big change, not eating after dinner. So I'll finish dinner and I won't eat again until the next day. And that's been huge. Obviously 75 hard. There's no soda. There's no sugary drinks. There's no alcohol. It's water. And I do have some seltzer, but it's, gallon of water a day. Those types of things make such a difference. And yeah, I know what the food is every single day. I know what to budget for, what to buy at the grocery store. We meal plan every single week so we can be diligent about it. We know exactly what it's going to be, and we don't have those hiccups and those slides. So that's the diet. It's been great. And I'll tell you what, this is the first time at this point in the program where I'm actually excited to keep it going. The progress has been huge for me. Actually the whole family really. And it's going to be great to just kind of continue on doing this type of stuff. Yeah. I'm not going to be restricted completely like on 75 hard. So be able to enjoy a couple things here and there, but for the most part, I plan to completely stay locked in because I still got work to do. And we're off to a good start though.
Yeah, it's amazing. And like you touched on it, dude, it makes your budget that much better because when you're not going down the aisles and grabbing a bag of chips and grabbing a box of fucking cereal and grabbing this and grabbing that, when you know what you're going to eat every day, it's just like when you plan your budget every month, you should plan your meals each week. Like meal planning is a real way to stay healthy, but it's also an amazing way to save money because you're not spending money on dumb shit. If you know you're eating 3 squares a day, you're cutting your snacks out, you're cutting the bullshit out, you're saving so much money by trimming up your diet. You're not just trimming up your diet, you're trimming up your wallet too, because you're saving money because you're only buying good food and you're not wasting it on extra bullshit. Like it is so key. Like what Dave is doing. See, I don't eat as strict as Dave does when it comes to Saturday because that's not how I live my life because I fast every day till noon most of the time. But what Dave is doing is such a great way to do it and to just, it works out so much better that way.
Yeah, the biggest thing too, like even from the beginning, most of the time people, when you get on a diet or something, it's like, oh, you got to get through the first couple weeks because you just feel hungry all the time. That never happened to me. If you're eating the right foods at the right times of the day and you're using your metabolism to your advantage, you don't hit those things. And for the most part, you feel full all the time. And when you're hungry, you actually feel hungry and you know that you are and you have a little something to eat at that time, which is usually right in line with what those different meal structure times are. And by continuing to drink the water too, getting a gallon of water, you're constantly giving your body that, which is also helping you feel full.
Yeah, no, the water is key too because a lot of times you're not even hungry. And if you drink a glass of water, you're gonna be like, oh, wait, I wasn't hungry. I was really just bored. And I've said that, you've heard me say that movement and water are the 2 keys to life. And that's always been the 2 keys to life. When I tell anybody what are the 2 most important things you can do, it's drink more water and move. And water, literally, Tony Horton, I'll never take credit for that comment because the great Tony Horton said that you're not hungry, you're bored. Have a glass of water. I promise you that glass of water is going to fill you up and you're going to be able to move about your day because most people just think they're hungry when they're bored out of their minds. If you got a busy day going at work, dude, you forget to eat because you're really not hungry. You're just rolling along through the day. You forget to eat. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it really is. It's incredible. I mean, for me, always like eating used to be just like a thing out of boredom most of the time, especially on the weekends when you're home. It was so easy to just kind of just like, oh, I'm going to swing by the pantry and grab something to eat. Not because I needed it. It's really just because I was like, well, I've got nothing else to do. I'm going to just do this. I'm going to eat. And that's literally the worst thing you can do for yourself.
It's so real because I'm even guilty of it now. Like, dude, I don't need a Cliff Bar, but I'm just bored. So I'm like, hey, grab a Cliff Bar because I'm bored. I'm outside doing shit. But if I'm outside all day long, I'll never eat. But if I'm home and I'm sitting in front of my computer for a long extended period of time, dude, I'll make my breakfast from my fast. And then for no reason, because it's just out of boredom, because I'm in a meeting or something, like, oh, dude, I'm going to go get some yogurt and granola. Is it healthy? Yeah, but do I need it? I don't need it. I just do it out of just complete boredom of what you're doing, the monotonous bullshit that you're up to every single day. You're like, oh, dude, it's a healthy snack, but did I really need to add 7 carbs, 4 grams of fat, and 10 more grams of protein? Well, you can always eat more protein, but I don't need it. I just do it out of complete boredom. And it's It's amazing if you pay attention like Dave does and you actually plan every single meal out. Watch the weight fall, watch you tighten up, watch everything, and then you add movement and water into that scenario, dude, and it is game, set, and match, dude, for your fitness. It is unbelievable what it will do just by cutting bullshit out of your diet and planning your meals. So spring cleaning finances we've talked about. Spring cleaning fitness. I didn't talk about exercise and working out, dude. Go outside. Simple. That's what I want you to do today. Go outside. I talked about diet, spring cleaning up your diet, because it really is more important to clean up that diet if you know you're going to be comfortable in the shorts or the bathing suit or whatever the hell it is. How can we spring clean up our faith, Dave? Give me something to run with here in terms of spring cleaning up in our faith, with it being the Easter season.
And how about just opening up the Bible? Reading a little bit of the Bible every day is just such a great way to do it. Go to church on Sundays. It doesn't have to be a ton, but just make time to be with God. That is the most important thing, I think, whatever that may be for you. And I think opening up the Bible and starting to read the good word is the easiest thing anyone can do to just get started, just get an interest in it. And then you can spend as much time in there or as little as you feel like you have, but it's a great way to just kind of get into it.
Yeah, I think Lent is such a good time of the year to get into your faith again, because Lent, I don't know about you, but during Lent, I am so much more hyper focused on everything that I'm doing, because, you give up, right? You're supposed to give up something for Lent. You can fast for 40 days and 40 nights, or you can give up, like we gave up social media on the weekends, or, I gave up texting and driving for Lent, or looking at my phone when I'm driving. So Lent is a great time of the year to get in tune, because think about it, it's only 40 days. That's a great time. Hey, listen, for 40 days, I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to read one paragraph a day, start in any book you want. There's so much knowledge in there. You can do that. You can give up something for Lent, which keeps you hyper. So I think Lent is a great time to spring clean when it comes to faith, because it makes you become hyper focused on what you're doing. Like 75 hard, you become hyper focused on tasks for 75 days. Lent, you can become hyper focused for 40 days on your faith. And that could be anywhere, like you said, it could be one sentence in the Bible or one page in the Bible, but you become hyper focused on what's going on around you more. And I like to look at it as, dude, Lent is something I give up, but what can I give during Lent? How can I help somebody? How can I give back during Lent? Not just give up me, right? Because then it's about me. How is something what can I do to please God that I can do, like by giving, right? Can I help my neighbor do something? Find ways to give, not just give up,
Yeah, dude, that's what a great take on that. It is it's so true. What you can do for either your community or, like you said, your neighbor. There's so many great things that you can do out there. What a wonderful way to look at it. And if we can all do just a little bit more, think about how much better this world would be.
It would be night and day better in the blink. If everybody did one good thing for somebody each day, the world would become a better place overnight.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. Because nobody does right now. Everybody's just in for me all the time. It's kind of astonishing, and you can really see that everywhere you go, which is unfortunate. But it takes a few. We talk about it all the time. We talked about personal excellence. It takes you doing something and someone else seeing that, or maybe being the beneficiary of it, for them to go and do it, for them to go and make that next step and do something positive for somebody. So, just got to get started. You can start it.
Yeah, it's so true. Like I love how you just said that. Dude, because if somebody sees you doing something positive, they're more likely to do something positive because they watched you do it.
Oh yeah, for sure they are. It's so easy, man. It's just like, you think about confidence level of doing things too. Like anywhere you go, you see somebody else doing it, you're like, oh yeah, I could do that too. Like, sure, not a problem. But everybody gets in their own head about everything and overanalyze every single thing that they do. So I've been victim of it too. You go somewhere and you see somebody stand up for something or doing, and you're right there with them. It's a matter of just setting the example. And if you set the example every single day, somebody's going to see that. You'll be pouring into them. You won't even realize it, and they're going to go and do the same thing, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it's so true. It's so true. But anyways, so moving on. Today's a quick hint episode. We just talked about spring cleaning in our fitness, our finances, and our faith. We would never do a show unless we mentioned sports. So there's no more famous numbers. We're going to try to keep finding something to do in the show, but there's no more famous 100s. We're over that. So if we looked up famous 101s, there's nothing there. But what I want to talk about in sports today is two things. You and I were joking around last night in a text message that the kid from Texas set the 40-yard dash record. And I said,
dude,
and you sent me a picture of he beat Usain Bolt in the 40-yard time. If you took Usain Bolt's 40-yard time and his 40-yard time, he beat him by 1/100th of a second. But I said, Usain has top-end speed, and he would smoke him in the 100 or 200, which is totally true. No one's faster ever in the history of the world has been faster than Usain Bolt at the 100 or the 200. Now, obviously, there's guys that are faster at the 40-yard dash, but it made me think, how fast would my dog run the 40-yard dash against an NFL, like the fastest player in the NFL, right? We were talking about, like, how fast could Pepper run it? Or how fast could Pepper run the 100 against Usain Bolt, dude? And the statistic that I saw, and I'm going to give you a statistic, and then I want you to talk about it after I give you the statistic. I looked it up last night on Google, and it said the fastest dogs can run the 40-yard dash in 2.5 seconds, and the fastest dog ever could run the 100 meters. So this is the 100 that Usain Bolt has the world record at, like 9.58. The fastest dog in history could run the 100 meters in 5.35 seconds. So give me your take on that.
That's absurd. I never in a million years would have guessed that. I mean, I know dogs are fast. I mean, heck, we just saw when Bryce was playing football today that the guy was using one of those chuckets and he was sending it, and that dog was on it. I mean, could probably give Pepper a run for her money. But two and a half, what did you say, 2.5 seconds in the 40-yard dash? That's insane. I mean,
dude, 2.5 in the 40 and 5.33 in the 100.
That's amazing. I would just love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that for a second. Just see like Usain Bolt line up against the fastest dog, and the dog would just blow him out. But you got to think, significantly lighter, 4 legs, stupid. I mean, they don't know. They're just going. Right? They're just like, go. Throw a tennis ball. Got it. So like, it kind of, I mean, I guess when you look at it, when you really break it down like that, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, that's mind-boggling to me.
Dude, Pepper with the tennis ball is it would be one of the 8 wonders of the world, watching Pepper chase a tennis ball. But Pepper's not even that fast. I mean, she's lightning, but she's not even that fast in terms, the fastest dogs in the world are greyhounds, right? And they can run like 45 miles per hour. Like Pepper, Dutch Shepherd top speed is, anywhere 32, 33. They said sometimes they get up to 35, and Pepper can fucking hum, dude. Like it's nobody's business. But greyhounds can run 45 miles per hour. Dude, that's the speed limit on Oracle Road.
Yeah, crazy. Oh, man. That's amazing.
Dude. But anyways, one more thing about the 40 before we switch to another topic I want to talk about. Have you ever run the 40-yard dash and been timed in it?
Probably back in elementary school. I think they did that like on field day and stuff like that. But I would be terrified to see what that would be.
I've never run the 40-yard dash timed. I think I've run the 40-yard dash, but no one's ever had a stopwatch on me. And it just makes you think. Every year you talk about it, people can run the 40-yard dash, blah, 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 blah. Well, I will say this. Tom Brady just ran the 40-yard dash at 46 years old, faster than he did when he ran it coming out of college at the Common. He beat his time, which is just absurd. That's
crazy. Yeah, somebody did a mashup video last night of Patrick Mahomes doing it with the record setter from yesterday, and it was amazing because Patrick, I mean, for as great as Patrick Mahomes is, right, he's not that fast. He ran like a 4.8 something, so it just shows like the guy out in front, Patrick Mahomes, slowly like trailing behind him. So yeah, it was pretty great.
Oh, dude, that's absurd to think about. Because you're right, Patrick Mahomes, you don't think of his legs. He scrambles well. Brock Purdy scrambles well. Josh Allen scrambles well, but you don't think of these guys as fast 40-yard dash runners. You know what I mean? But the second sports topic I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, what you got?
Good. UConn won its first outright Big East championship in 25 years. Go ahead, talk about them.
Dude, I'm so happy for this team. Like, it's kind of crazy because they came out of nowhere at the end of last year, right? Like, they had that terrible stretch in the middle of the season. Then they just went on a roll. They lost to Marquette in the Big East championship, but then just went on a tear. Beat everybody by so many points. But then you lose 3 guys to the NBA. Okay, 3 guys that go, and you're like, man, okay, it's always fun to win a championship, but it's like we got to reload. And Hurley comes back somehow with arguably a significantly better team than he had last year. Now, anything can happen on any given day, but this team is badass. I think I messaged you yesterday. they would beat Purdue by 30 points. And I really hope that game happens because I'd love to see them shove it down Purdue's throat so bad. And I think they would beat Houston too. I haven't seen enough of Houston to completely commit to that, but you know what? This weekend, Purdue, Houston, they were both on the ropes. Houston needed a buzzer beater to win. UConn just gets it done, man. They won by 30 again this weekend against Seton Hall in a payback game on senior day. Cam Spencer, I wish he had been there 4 years. It was senior day for him. He was here for 1 year. What a player he is, dude. He is ice running through his veins. Nothing bothers him. Caravan's just unbelievable. Like the best utility player I think I've ever seen. Donovan Clingan, when he stays out of foul trouble, is an absolute monster on the defensive end. He's got some work to do on the offensive side, but well, he's fantastic defensively when he stays out of foul trouble. Is there a better point guard in the country than Tristan Newton? I don't think so. 4 triple doubles in college, the most since Shaq. Holy cow, dude is ridiculous. Again, I wish he had been at UConn for 4 years. Then you got Stefan Castle, who comes in as a freshman. Started the year, couldn't shoot at all. He's getting better at it. Put up 21 this weekend. He's legit. He can drive. Like nobody can stop him on a drive to the hoop. He rebounds. He steals. He blocks. You got guys coming off the bench. You got Hassan Diarra. I mean, these guys are just fantastic. They're deep. You never know who's going to beat you. Samson Johnson, all he does is dunk 3-4 times a game and block shots like dudes everywhere. I mean, this team is so complete. And Hurley's the perfect coach for them. They don't take any plays off. They certainly don't take any games off. They don't take any plays off, okay? Never. They're never getting out-hustled, outworked. Teams are coming at them with their best every single night because they're the defending national champs. They've only got 3 losses this year at all, so they handle it just about every single time. And, oh, by the way, those 3 losses, yeah, they got beat in a game they shouldn't have against Seton Hall early in the year, first Big East game. They got beat at Kansas, okay, without Castle. Castle not there. And then they lost, what was their most recent one at Creighton. Okay, a number 15 team in the country who just beat the number 5 team in the country, Marquette. So they're no slouch. This team is legit. They're loaded, and I cannot wait to get into the Big East tournament and certainly can't wait to see them in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting, this team. There's such a different dynamic to this team that I love because last year, like you said, they started, 14-0, had the terrible stretch in the middle, and then ran ruckshot after that Marquette loss. This year, all the expectations in the world. I don't know if I thought this was a 3-loss team. I mean, who knows? We'll see. There's a couple regular season games left in the Big East tournament. So at most, this team's going to lose 4 games. I'd love to see them repeat like Florida did 06-07. I think they're good enough too. I think they're way better than Purdue. I think they're way better than Houston. I think Purdue's such a joke. They lost as the number 1 overall team last year. They lost to a 16 seed. Okay, you lose all credibility and respect. I don't care how good Zach Edey is or whatever the hell his name is. It doesn't matter. This is the best, most complete team. They beat you in more ways than fucking any other team in the country can any night of the week. The Creighton loss, I would say that the Creighton loss is the only bad loss. They got punched in the mouth and they didn't know how to react. And that's good because they needed that loss. The Seton Hall loss is not a bad loss. Defending national championship opened up their Big East season on the road. Seton Hall's 18-11. They're not some fucking under 500 team like Purdue loses to fucking Ohio State. I mean, give me a break. And everybody loses at Kansas early in the year. And that's a good game for UConn because Hurley's not afraid of anybody, and he'll take all those games. Give him all the games. He'll take all the road games against all the top 10 teams. He does not care. This team is dialed in. You're right. There's no better coach in the country for them. This team would not be as good if they were coached by a Bill Self or if they were coached by a Shire or whoever. You name a coach. This team fits the mold. They're gritty. Everyone knows UConn. Dude, you grow up in New England. It's gritty. It's dirty. It's cold. It's miserable in Storrs, Connecticut for the entire season long. Dude, they know how to battle. So I'm not really – the Creighton loss is the only one that I kind of raised an eyebrow at me because I never thought they'd get punched in the mouth and blown out by somebody. I just didn't see that happening. But this is college basketball. But they are the far and away favorite going into the tournament this year. I don't care what anybody says. They won the Big East championship outright, regular season champions since the first time since '99 when we went 34-2. Okay, this team is legit. You hit it right on the head. They lost 3 guys in the NBA, and one of them was a lottery pick. Castle's gonna be a lottery pick if he decides to go. Dude, this team is legit. They beat you. They go 8 deep. And it's unbelievable, dude. I'm so excited for the rest of the season and the Big East tournament and going into the big dance with this team. but absolutely, they are the odds-on favorite, no doubt about it, to win. They have the best coach right now in the country, and this is the most complete team in the country.
Only 2 times in UConn's history have they had 3 losses or less. First was 95-96 with the Ray Allen team that lost in the regional semifinal. They were 32-3. Then you had the 98-99 team, the national championship team, 34-2. Okay, they had a year where they in 97-98 where they only lost 5. That's when they were really getting close. They had a 6-loss year, a 4-loss year that they lost in the regional final. That was the Rudy Gay. That was the most disappointing team in UConn history. Man, they're on par for one of the best seasons in UConn history. And they lost 2 games in the Big East. You're always going to get your best competition in your conference because the teams know you so well. It's just like divisional play in the NFL or an MLB. It's what happens when they get out of conference, dude. This team, nobody knows what's coming. They don't know the speed of UConn. Like, that's the thing, man. They never stop moving. I was watching the game with Kendall this weekend, and I just showed him, like, Ken, this is like what you got to do when you're out on the court, right? Look at how these guys move around the court. They're never standing still. I remember UConn teams back when Ollie was there, and they were just kind of mediocre. You just guys just standing around out there. Not this team. Guys are cutting and moving, creating shots, setting picks. I mean, they are just always on the move. They're so fast. Defensively, they're fast. They get down the court in a hurry. So these teams, I don't think, have any idea what's coming for them.
You're absolutely right, 100%. I'm excited, but switching gears, we've talked about our spring cleanup. We've talked about some sports which we wanted to get a hold of. I'm going to read you a quote from something, and then I want your reaction because you know this guy personally, and I want your reaction to this. And Dr. John Deloney, you listen to his podcast, you work with him, you know him personally. He posted something the other day that it just hit me so close to home. And I know my kids don't have social media. I know way too many parents of kids that are Madison's age that their kids live on social media. And he posted, and I took a screenshot of it and I put it in my phone because I'm never going to get rid of it. And he said, "Do not let your children have access to social media, period. The data is unequivocal, unambiguous, and crystal clear. There is no room for debate, for agree to disagree, or any other arguing around the edges. Social media is destroying our children. Enough."
Yeah, it's I've heard him talk about it on his podcast. I know he puts some of that stuff out there too for people to see. So true. We've talked about it before on the show. I think letting your kids have access to social media is probably one of the worst things you can do as a parent right now. And certainly as full force fathers, that's not what we want to do. There's just so much hate right now that's on the internet. There's so many predators that are on the internet, in that social media, online bullying, things like that. I don't know about you. I know my kids, they're not cut out for that. It's hard enough for adults to see stuff and hate online and compare themselves to others and things like that. Children are not mature enough to handle it. Most adults aren't mature enough to handle it. So yeah, dude, it's a spot on thing from Deloney. He's great. His podcast is fantastic. And yeah, it's one of those things. It's when I've heard him on the show before say, when they have friends over the house, they leave their phones in a basket at the door. They're not allowed to bring them into the house, and they're in the house, but like not with them into the house. If the parent needs to get a hold of them, they know they've got to reach out to them, the parents. And lo and behold, man, so many people grew up that way, right? If you need to get a hold of somebody, you called the house that the kids were at. Kendall's had friends over before, and they're texting their parents, and they'll come out and say, "Oh, my mom's coming over to pick me up," and we're like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool." So it's like, it's I don't know, it's strange. It's a different dynamic, and it's another way for kids to not have to talk to people because everything's just online through social media, and you just share emojis and LOLs and all this stuff, and they don't actually have to communicate, which is another big problem in our society. Just people can't communicate, and if you're starting it young enough with kids like that, there's no reason for them to need to. So why would they?
Yeah, and it's in our house. We just recently started this, but Andine and I both have gone social free Sundays, and I'm looking to extend it. I told Andine the other day I'm going to pick a day during the week, middle of the week, and I'm going to make it 2 days a week, and I'm doing this to condition myself, because I'm guilty of social media. You don't do it, which I'm jealous of, and I'm conditioning myself to eventually get rid of it altogether because I hate it and I don't need it, and it doesn't serve any purpose in my life. Are there some people that I connect with, other camping families and outdoor families, that I only connect on social media? Yeah. But those are people that I can, when I'm ready to get rid of it entirely, just shoot them a message. Say, hey, here's my cell phone number. You want to hang out? You want to meet up at a camping spot? Call me directly, text me directly. That's going to be the way it is because I'm conditioning myself to get rid of it. Madison does not have social media on her phone. She never will. As long as she's under my roof, she's not going to, because it is an absolute cancer. It's a killer. Kids kill themselves due to bullying on it. Pedophiles rape little kids due to it. I mean, it is absolutely the worst thing ever. So the fact that I'm taking steps to get rid of it, and Andine, I don't care if my wife gets rid of it or not. She doesn't post very much any at all. She uses it more for just her. She's a scroller, Andine. She's not a poster on Facebook and Instagram. I like to post my go outside message every day, and I connect with people on there that like-minded individuals. But I love waking up on Sunday mornings. It's church and it's social free. And dude, it's so refreshing on Sundays when I don't look at my phone, because it's amazing how much you look at your phone when you know what I mean? Listen, social media. I don't really need my phone on a weekend, because unless you're going to call me or text me or I get a work email, I don't need my phone on the weekends. I really don't need it on the weekends. It's unbelievable.
No, I don't use social media at all anymore. If you want to show me a picture, and most people are like, oh, I like to keep up with my friends and what they're doing. You send me pictures, and I love it. I love seeing what you guys are doing, and that's amazing. Yeah. But I'm not going to see them on social media, and I don't care. If I could just go on social media and follow the people that I want to follow, that would be great. But you can't even do that anymore, because you get all these things in your feeds that doesn't have anything to do with the people that you're following. It's all miscellaneous crap that these companies want you to see. Their advertisements, their whatever they're pushing, whatever their latest thing is that they want to get behind. They want you to believe certain things. So that's what fills up your news feed, and it's not stuff. If I could just follow my friends and then some of those people that I look up to, and influencers there that like Andy and Mylette and like all those people, that'd be great. But you can't just do that. You can't do it anymore. So you know what? I just shut it all off, and my life's better for it. I don't miss it at all. And Casey tells me what's going on if I need to see something anyway, because she has it, and so that's fine.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I could probably go completely out of it, and I'm working my way towards it, because then I literally will be able to get away from it. Andine can tell me the scoop as to what she finds or knows, and then I just, dude, and then I'm going to the light phone after that, dude. As long as I can do my work emails, podcasts, and phone call and text, I'm moving that way in a heartbeat, dude.
Yep, for sure.
So, well, anyways, I think that's going to wrap up today's episode number 101. You want to take us on home? Go right ahead, dude.
Yeah, everybody, get out there, continue to live the full force life. Remember, it's March. It's time to do some spring cleaning. What can you do with your finances, your faith, and your fitness to get yourself in a better position than you are right now? Take those steps. Take them today. There's no better time to start than now. And I said it again, March has started, which means March Madness is right around the corner. So make sure you budget for some brackets. They're coming. Go Huskies. See you next week.